Kanhaiya, please confirm if I am properly audible.
Yes, sir. You are audible, loud and clear, sir.
Perfect. Very good morning, Chopra sir.
Good morning, Rajesh. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, Kanaya. Krishan, sorry,
Yes,
morning, Krishan.
Morning, sir.
So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Before I formally begin the talk, let me first convey my regards and I truly appreciate that all of you joined and much before time, rather half of the audience joined much before time. So I truly appreciate you kind of blocking your calendar and being on time there with us today. I keep coming to the webinar every time. So you know me, many of you would be knowing me. I'm Rajesh Kumar Singh. I'm the CEO for this institution, ICOFP, International College of Financial Planning, where we offer super specialized financial education. And one of the flagship programs that we offer is CFP, Certified Financial Planner, which is a world's topmost certification in financial planning and personal finance. So that's about a brief about the institution that I represent. Guys, the talk that we are going to have today, as you have seen in the promo or the invite that has gone to you, is future of financial planning. What better than hearing the future of a subject or an area from a person who is credited to bring the financial planning to the country, financial planning education to the country. I'm extremely honored to have my manager, reporting head, my senior, my group director, Anil Chopra sir here today with us. Anil Chopra sir academically is a chartered accountant and is a CFP. And that too, when I say CFP, he is the man who brought the CFP education to the country. I can see some CFP faces here like Rajesh Chedaji. I know he's a CFP, right? So he is the man. We have Chopra sir today who has actually empowered approximately 8,000 people in the country to be qualified certified finance professionals here. So if this terminology, this certification, this designation exists in India today, it is because of the man that we have on the screen today. So we are truly honored to have you here today, sir. Chopra sir, besides his stellar academic, as I said, he brings in nearly 4 decades of experience in the financial industry. And I don't think there would be anyone else better equipped when talking about the history or the future of financial planning in India, for that matter. So right from bringing the program to the country, to framing the entire delivery model, to curriculum, Chopra sir has been involved in all of those initiatives. And that's why it's an extreme pleasure to have you here, sir. Chopra sir happens to be my mentor, my guide here as well at ICOFP. So I happen to keep interacting with him almost every other day, but then having him here on a platform like this, wherein he is going to speak and address to all of us today, is truly enriching. So once again, before I hand over the talk, just 2 more things, gentlemen. We have the ground rules for the day. We have deliberately kept all of you on mute, but that should not deter you from asking questions. You can write your questions in the chat box and I will see to it that I'll take the questions from there and we'll put it to Chopra sir. Or at the end of the session, you can raise your hands in the Zoom panel and my team will allow you to unmute and you can speak to Chopra sir live. So that's one. Second, the talk today is split into 2 parts. The first part is where approximately 40-45 odd minutes where Chopra sir would come in and he would talk about the given topic, the future of financial planning, and he will enlighten us with all his experience and knowledge. And the second part followed by I will reappear on the screen and I will talk about the CFP program and the nitty-gritty of the CFP program, how you can be a qualified CFP like Chopra sir or like Rajesh Chedaji or anyone else who is here. So that's what I am going to talk in the later part of the program. So that's all that we will be doing today. Once again, thank you so much, Chopra sir, for taking out time, your valuable presence here. And I am personally extremely honored to share this screen space with you, sir. Over to you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Rajesh, and good morning, friends. Thank you so much, Rajesh, for those nice words. I feel truly humbled, and I am feeling at the same time very excited, very energetic, to be amongst CFP, prospects, those who have chosen to understand more about it. So friends, let me begin by a little bit of, the history that I am a chartered accountant, like Rajesh told you, and I became a chartered accountant in 1979. So it's been, you can calculate about 43 years, but I think I truly became a professional when I became a certified financial planner, which was later in somewhere around 2002 or 2003. So friends, I have these 2 degrees. Of course, both degrees are very, very dear to me, but I must say that CFP as a mark gives me more respect, gives me more fulfillment, gives me my life, I feel that I am able to give back something to society more as a CFP and less as a chartered accountant. So that is just the beginning I wanted to, share with you. Now, friends, Rajesh has told you that that my name is associated with bringing this concept into this country, which is true, but I must give the credit where it is due. I am more of a catalyst to bring this profession into India, but the thought was seeded by, Chairman of Bajaj Capital Limited, Mr. Rajiv Bajaj, who was my colleague for many, many years in Bajaj Capital and who still is. In fact, he's the one who asked me to go to, FPSB office in Denver in USA and get more information. And then, of course, just like, Mount Everest, everybody associates. So the 2 people, Neil Armstrong, etc., on moon. So first person is always remembered. So that way, I have the credit that, yes, I am the first Indian to enter the office of Financial Planning Standard Board in Denver, Colorado in USA in November 1999, because I was asked by our chairman, Mr. about the history. So friends, now if your life would be a roller coaster with so many great achievements that you would always remember the 14th May 2022 when you first understood this and then decided to, make a change in your life for betterment, not only of yourself as an individual, but also of the people around you. So the impact that you will make, on your family members, on your clients is going to be tremendous, right? So this is, I just wanted to give you this idea that be prepared for something very exciting. So friends, now let me quickly take you a little bit into the history. As I told you, I joined Bajaj Capital in 1984. And at that point of time, our company, Bajaj Capital, was having offices all over the country. We were having clients and we were giving, our advice on financial instruments like fixed deposits, UTI schemes, debentures, bonds, things like this. And we were known as investment brokers. Broker is not a good word. I never used to feel, very special. We are working in investment broking company, but we knew that we are much more than, just being a simple broker or product sellers, So then I decided to do some research as to what is happening in this same field across the globe. Internet had just started. I'm talking about 97, 98, right? Internet had just started, becoming popular in our country also. So through search and all, we just tried to type some words, which is financial products distribution, advice on financial products. And then we came across this beautiful concept of financial planning. And when we did more research on that financial planning concept, then we realized that exactly this is what we are doing. But we didn't know that we were doing financial planning because we were first understanding the needs of our clients, their requirements, their goals, and then we were giving them products. Of course, now we don't use the word products. Product word is banned in our company. We later on changed it to solutions. Yes, friends, as a CFP, as a certified financial planners, you don't sell products. You advise, you give solutions. That is the big change, qualitative change, which came into our life. And then our confidence, rose significantly. And our overall profession, our responsibilities towards our clients, that transformed ourselves into a major company with a big brand and also with big client base. So then when we did more research and we found that exactly this business is called financial planning, then we started doing more research and we came across this concept called CFP with a trademark in the end of it, trademark TM. And then we found that it was actually being run by a huge organization in USA, which is known as Financial Planning Standard Board. That time it was known as Financial Planning Academy. So Mr. Rajiv Bajaj, who is the son of our senior chairman, Mr. K.K. Bajaj, who established Bajaj Capital as well as ICOFP, he told me, Anil, you are going to US. Why don't you take a ticket to Denver, to Colorado, go to this financial planning, organization office, get some more information, and let's see what happens. So this is, friends, the history. So that was my first trip to US. Of course, since 1999, I have made some 25 trips, but I cannot forget my first trip because that was the trip which changed my life. So I had some work, to do in Pennsylvania and in California. But after finishing my work, I had my ticket booked for Colorado in Denver. I reached there without any appointment. I just took a taxi from the hotel. That time, mobile phones were not, so much active. I took a taxi from the hotel and straight landed into the office of, FPSB on the 16th Broadway in Denver. And at the reception, the lady asked me that, do you have any appointment? I said, no, but I have come from New Delhi, India. So, and I gave my card, as a director of Bajaj Capital. So, of course, she was a little bit surprised, but then she came back after checking from inside. So she said, yes, our directors are ready to meet you. So I just entered a big boardroom and completely without any appointment. And people were very inquisitive. Those Americans, there were 5-6 Americans were sitting. Their deputy chairman, their board of studies chairman, their examination chairman, their ethics committee chairman, 4-5 people were sitting, and they were looking at me with a lot of, excitement and surprise that who is this man? Why has he come to our office? What does he want? So when I went and introduced myself and I said, we want to understand because this mark, certified financial planner, is not there in India, but we are doing exactly the same thing. We would like to know more about it, and we would request you to consider opening your office in India. So they looked at me with suspicion because they didn't know much about what is happening in India. They asked me, do you have stock exchanges in India? This was their question. I was surprised. I said, sir, stock exchanges, not one, not two, but we have 20. At that time, we had regional stock exchanges, in Ludhiana, of course, Mumbai, Delhi, of course, we all had Ahmedabad Stock Exchange. So when I told them we have National Stock Exchange and how much we have advanced in computers, so then, of course, they were convinced. And then I also told them what big market it is. We have unit trust. Of course, that time, mutual funds were more popularly known as unit trust. Later on, of course, the mutual fund industry has become a big one. So then they realized that, yes, India is ready. And so what was supposed to be just a 10-15 minutes, simply introductory meeting, it went on for more than 2 hours. They all came in and they started asking me so many questions. They were completely ignorant about what is happening in India. And finally, they said, yes, we would like to send a delegation to India. And they said that it has happened for the first time in our history because that Financial Planning Standard Board was already there for 20 years. They said, we have been looking for country to country where we can go and introduce CFP. So we have been able to go to UK, Singapore, South Africa, Australia, Germany, Japan, and South Korea. They were considering at that point of time. And they said, here is one country which walks into our office. Generally, we go to different countries and we say, look, this is a great mark, certified financial planner. Why don't you introduce it to students in your country? And they said, India was not on our horizon, at least for next 5-10 years. We didn't know much about it. But he said, now you have come, you have convinced us, so we will send our delegate. So friends, rest is history. Of course, then they came, we met them, and then later on, the body was formed, and now, of course, it is a growing profession. So friends, cutting to the story, this mark of certified financial, very, very prestigious mark, right? A survey was done in US that which are the fastest rising professions in the world, and particularly going forward, which kind of professionals will see maximum growth and maximum revenue generation in terms of salaries or income. So the first one was IT professionals, and the second one was certified financial planners. So friends, won't you like to be a part of this particular potential? which is considered to be the second fastest rising monetarily and otherwise in next 15-20 years, right, friends? And let me tell you that certified financial planner or CFP mark is such a prestigious mark that first of all, it is a very new profession. It only started in 70s and now we are in 2022. So it's only about 45, 50-year-old. And still, even today, in the whole world, there are only 200,000, little over 200,000 CFPs. So just imagine what an elite community it is. If you also become one of them, you can say proudly that there are in the whole world, there are only 2 lakh certified financial planners and I am one of them. Just imagine what kind of pride it will give you. Just imagine what kind of influence you will make in and around you. And in India, of course, full-fledged, complete certified financial planners are only about 2,400 as of now, right? So Brazil has of 8,000-9,000. Hong Kong, which is a small country, they have 4,000, right? So India is a growing country, and next decade, if you read the latest issue of Economist magazine, which is very popular, there is a big article there which says next decade belongs to India, because the maximum growth in the whole world, whether GDP or in any other form which you see, employment generation, etc., is going to happen in India. So friends, if you take this decision today to embrace this religion, I call it a religion. If you consider something as religion, you become fanatic about it, right? So similarly, we become fanatic about this concept of financial planning and helping the society and making them, much better planned individuals, right? So if you take this decision today, next 10 years, it is expected that in India, millions of people will come out of the below poverty into, a middle income and prosperous, and they will all need advice, right? They will all need to save tax. They will need certified financial planners. They will need to be better prepared for retirement planning, right? So millions of people will come out of below poverty line to above poverty line. Then today, there is about 1.25 crore individuals, those who are doing mutual fund SIPs. But the potential is 15 crores. 15, just imagine 12 times more. And all that is going to happen in next 10 years. Just imagine if you are there at the right time, how much, clients you can acquire and how much AUM you can acquire and how much profit you can generate, for own individual business, right? So mutual fund SIPs, which in last 10 years have reached the number of 1.25 crore individuals doing about 5-6 crore SIPs, is expected to go to 15 crores with 75 crore SIPs in just 10 years. This rise is going to be several times, right? Similarly, insurance penetration, everything is going to go multifold. So if you are there in this sunrise industry, you can make a great career out of it, friends. Now, let me tell you a little bit more about it. I told you in the whole world, there are only 200,000 CFPs, right? Out of which around 100,000 are in US, okay, 1 lakh, because that's the country from where it started. And then in Japan, in Germany, there are big numbers, in China also. And 76% CFPs globally are males and 24% are females. So 24% is a big number, right? So huge scope even for girls also. I can see a lot of girls have joined our program today. They can be equally and maybe better. They can become a better financial planner, because globally already we have 24% females as certified financial planners. So huge scope even in India also. And when it comes to age, you would be surprised to know that in US, there are 600 CFPs, those who are above the age of 80 years. Can you imagine? Somebody 82 years, 84 years, and he's a CFP. He must have passed the exam only recently, right? So much is the craze, even very, very old people. So if somebody is today 55, 60 in our program, he should feel very, very young even now to become a certified financial planner and to enjoy. And obviously, 5% CFPs are less than 29 also. So age is not a consideration at all, whether you are 22 or whether you are 36 or whether you are 49 or whether you are 73. Everybody can start, hope, and do some work and become a certified financial planner. So what you need to do, just imagine the other important degrees that we have. Two degrees I often like to talk about. One is chartered accountant, which I am also there as a chartered accountant. I must say that I respect that. And other is MBBS, right? MBBS. 18-year-old, yes, Hiteshwi, very good. You can also become, yes, earlier the better it is. There is no age restriction. Okay. So coming back to these 2 degrees are considered very important and respected in our society. You agree? Anybody who is a chartered accountant, oh, he must have done a lot of hard work, right? And he must be intelligent. Similarly, MBBS, doctors, they are respected a lot. But these people have to do a lot of hard work. The course runs into 4 years. You know that, right? They have to, do so much studies, so many books, and it takes minimum 4 years to become a MBBS or to become a chartered accountant, 3 to 4 years. But when it comes to this even better, future ready profession, certified financial planner, you can become a full-fledged CFP in just 6 to 12 months also. More about that, Rajesh will tell you that how you can challenge this status. And if you already have some experience, you can become a full-fledged CFP even in 12 months also. Of course, 2 years, all of you can become. Of course, it requires, certain requirements. Now, what are the basic ingredients to become a professional CFP? We must know this. At least four requirements are there. These are 4 E's of, we call it 4 E's of certified financial planning profession. What are these 4 E's? These 4 E's are education, experience, examination, and ethics. I'm sure you love these 4 things. Education, of course. Without education, how can you hope to become a professional? Because you are going to deal with people's money. You are going to tell them about how to lead a high quality retirement life. You have to have proper education, right? And I'm sure you are all ready. You have done so much studies in your life, right? There are some very good courses out there. Some books would be provided to you. Some study material will be there. So education. Then, of course, examination. No point if you have studied, but if you have not passed the exam, obviously, you would never go to a doctor who is not an MBBS, isn't it? Similarly, non-qualified accountant is considered much inferior, right? So you have to pass the exam also. Examination also, there are so many, systems are there. There are modules, which Rajesh will tell you more about it. There are 6 modules. So you can do 1 module, 2 module. Of course, when you do all the 6 modules, then you are eligible to write CFP. That day would be the best day of your life. The day you're able to put this against your name, Poonam Lal CFP, or Hiteshwi Doshi CFP. Just imagine on your card if it is written Hiteshwi Doshi CFP, you would be full of pride, and your future will be very, very bright. So coming back to education, examination, experience, right? So would you like to be treated by an inexperienced doctor? Never. Right? Doctors have to go to internship and all, right? So that they get some training. So similarly, to be able to practice as a certified financial planner, then you have to have some experience also of at least 1 to 3 years. And most of you already have experience. And I have come to know that some of you, those who are attending our program today, you are already MP pass distributors, right? Or you have passed some NSM exams, etc. And you already are into this profession for a few years. You already have experience. Very good. If you don't have, then of course others have to go for experience. And finally, the 4th E, friends, is ethics, which is the hallmark of any profession. Of course, doctors also, we know that they have to be very, very, very ethical of prescribing the right medicines. Similarly, as certified financial planners also, always acting in the interest of clients. Client first. That has to be your motto in life, client first, because we exist because of our client. So friends, these are the 4 E's which you have to remember: education, examination, experience, and ethics. And then friends, what all you would be taught and what you should be proficient in as certified financial planner, let me give you a glimpse into it. Some of you may already be knowing it. As a certified financial planner, you would be taught obviously the investment planning, which is simple, right? What mutual fund, which bond, which scheme, whether PPF is good or NPS is better, all these investment related things. So investment planning has to be one of the topics which you have to be, proficient at, which you have to be very, very comfortable with. Apart from that, risk management, right? So because as a certified financial planner, you have to ensure that your client has proper health insurance, his properties are insured, his valuables are insured, his life is insured, right? So all that which is covered under risk management. So different types of risk, all of them have to be covered. So you have to be very, very good at various kinds of insurances. Then friends, very important part of CFP is tax planning. Tax planning, right? Tax is a reality which we can't ignore, which we can't deny. You agree, right? Income tax or any other tax is our responsibility as citizens to pay. But as a certified financial planners, it is again our responsibility to guide our clients how they can minimize their tax liability within the rules, right? That is what is CFPs are respected the most. Okay, so this is the another thing. So tax planning, and then of course, friends, retirement planning. Retirement is the biggest financial goal of anybody's life, right? Retirement planning is the biggest financial goal. Of course, there are other goals also like children education, children marriage, buying a house, buying a car, but retirement planning is the biggest financial goal. So as a CFP, one full module is dedicated only to retirement planning. And then also, of course, the succession planning, which is like writing a will, right? Or ensuring that there is proper nomination, ensuring that, all the properties and the investments are handled in a way that they're either jointly or with some nomination, etc., so that each client's succession planning is done as per his or her desire. So these are some of the things which you would be learning during the examination, during the education process. And then once you become a full-fledged CFP, then you will be proficient in investment planning, risk management planning, cash flow planning, retirement planning, succession planning, etc., etc. Right, friends? And now quickly to tell you about the process. When it comes to process of establishing your practice as a certified financial planner, let me tell you that what is the scope of activities for you. So one is obviously if you prefer to do a good job and then grow in it as a professional, then CFPs are required by all banks, all wealth management companies, right? All mutual funds, all insurance companies, the entire BFSI sector, the entire banking and financial services industry, they prefer certified financial planners. Even in our own company, Bajaj Capital, of course, we prefer CFPs. So CFPs are given higher start, higher salaries than those who are non-CFPs. The difference is at least 30-40% in terms of their starting salary and their growth also, right? So where you can expect to work, you can expect to work in wealth management companies, in the private banking units of big banks, like Axis Bank or ICICI Bank or HDFC Bank or Kotak Bank, or even foreign banks like BNP Paribas, etc., etc. Or you can, expect to work in big mutual funds like Nippon Mutual Fund or Kotak Mutual Fund or Tata Mutual Fund, etc. They also need the services of certified financial planners, for creating solutions for retirement, for creating solutions for tax planning, etc. And apart from that, you can also work in insurance companies. They also are preferring, professionals like CFP. But if you do not want to join a big organization and you want to start your own practice, then obviously nothing better than, a CFP mark, which will give you so much confidence. So you can start your own shop, your own office, your own business, your own profession. Like we have Mr. Saurabh Kumar Singh CFP, or Tarun CFP, right? So that way you can start your own practice and start building up. It's just like starting your own clinic, like doctor opens a clinic and then the clients keep multiplying. Similarly, you can start your own practice and be your own boss and be an entrepreneur and start developing your clientele and then continue to grow. And there is no upper limit how much you can earn. There's no upper limit. We know certified financial planners whose earnings are in crores of rupees, 5 crore a year, 7 crore a year, 10 crore a year. And obviously, to begin with, the packages of minimum is 12 lakhs and going up to 18 lakhs, 24 lakhs, 30 lakhs is quite common, with experience of 3 to 4 years like that. So now coming to when you want to establish your practice, then there is a 6-step approach. You will know more about it, once you get into the profession, and Rajesh will also tell you more about it. But I'll simply quickly touch upon these 6 things so that you are aware as to what are you supposed to do when you become a certified financial planner. So the 6-step approach, friends, is that first one is you have to, establish your relationship with your client. You have to define it, because there are different types of arrangements. Some people like to do fees only, where as a certified financial planner, you will be charging fees like doctors do it. Doctors will charge fees 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees, 5,000 rupees per visit, like that. Similarly, as certified financial planners, you can decide that you will work on fee basis only, and that fee can be, some percentage of the assets of the client. For example, it can be 0.5%. So if client is having assets of 1 crore, you earn 50,000 rupees fees from one client in 1 year. If client is having 10 crore and you have decided 0.5%, you will earn 5 lakh rupees. So this is one model. Of course, there are so many other models, and there is commission based also, where you don't charge any fee, but you earn commissions from the solution which your clients are buying. So that is the first step, that you need to establish a relationship with your client as to what kind of relationship, how many times in a year you will meet, frequency of that, all that has to be clearly defined and communicated, so that client should know that this person is my financial planner and he will meet me once every quarter, and this is the services that he will give to me, and this is how I am supposed to compensate him. Then, friends, the second step is data gathering, what we call, that you have to know your client, you have to understand his requirements, how many children he has, whether his wife is working or not, how much investment he already has, what are his goals, when will he retire. These are simple things. This is known as a data gathering process. So that is the second step, that you collect all the information so that you are able to, do a great job as a certified financial planner. And then, friends, the third step is to understand the goals of the clients. Like I told you, the goals of the clients generally are children education, children marriage, buying a house, buying a car, or retirement planning, etc. So you will understand which year which goal will come. A client may say that now it is 2022. In 2028, I need 1 crore rupees for my son's education, because he'll be ready to go to US for a 4 years course. In 2030, I will need 75 lakh rupees for my daughter's marriage. Like this, different people will tell you different goals. So you have to make a list of all those goals, and this is the data which he has given to you and the goals which he has mentioned to you. Then the next step will be that you will prepare a financial plan, a document which you will submit to your clients, right? So that is the very important, for which you need a lot of experience, ethics, etc., to understand the goals and to convert that into a big financial plan, right? And then the next step will be that you will present that document or that financial plan to the client, so that he is very clear, he or she is very clear as to what all different recommendations you are giving for achievement of his or her so many different goals. And he has to be explained the entire plan, and his questions have to be addressed, his concerns have to be taken care of. And then, friends, the next step is to implement the plan. Once client agrees, so you say that, okay, you need a term insurance plan for 1 crore rupees for protection of your family. Tick mark, okay, let's go and look for the best term plan from the market, right? Then second can be, you need a health insurance policy, family floater, 25 lakhs to cover, your children and yourself. So like this, the different, recommendations will be there, investments, insurance. So you will implement them. And then, friend, the sixth step is that this plan implementation will be reviewed regularly, every 3 months, every 6 months. So please remember that as a certified financial planner, as a CFP, it's a lifelong relationship, right? It's not just one time that you came and you do and you go away. Like a real estate broker, he comes and he sells you property and goes away. No, it's a lifelong process. It's a relationship is continuous for next 15, 20, 30, 40 years, and sometimes into generations. So that is why we say that as a certified financial planner, you are not only a financial planner, but you are also a friend, philosopher, and guide to your client, right? No other professional can claim that. Chartered accountant will only talk once in a year, wo return file karega and will give you some advice on how to save tax and that is over. He is not required, every now and then, right? Similarly, doctor, you will need only when you fall sick and you don't like to see a doctor because you don't like to fall sick, right? But when it comes to your certified financial planner, this gentleman or this lady, you will need to meet as often as possible, because anytime any important change happens in the client's life, for example, client gets promoted, his income gets increased, enhanced, so his goals would increase. Supposing he has a new baby, again the goals would change. So it is a lifelong relationship. That is why we say that CFP is like a friend, philosopher, guide, and family member. So that you will realize once you start practicing, that in how many families you will be treated as a family member. In all your clients' families, they will invite you, for their children's birthdays, for their wedding anniversaries, for their marriages, etc., because they will treat you as a important family member, because you know in and out about their goals, about their aspirations, about their income levels, about their saving levels, and how different goals will come at what time, etc. So with that information, with that knowledge, with that trust, the CFPs are respected significantly, in the society by their clients. So they are more like friend, philosopher, and coach. And also, for example, these days when the markets sometimes are correcting, for example, right now, those who have interest in the market, they would be noting that our Sensex, has been falling for last few weeks. So at such time, certified financial planners have to play a very important role of that of behavioral scientists, because they have to be expert in behavioral finance, do hand-holding of their clients, be with them, tell them that what needs to be done at this stage, right? So that way, it is a very, very responsible, position that you're going to have in the minds and lives of your clients. So be prepared for this very exciting journey. And I am feeling very happy for each one of you that you have come this morning, you are attending this webinar, you are very keen to understand more about, how this certified financial planner works, how they operate, what are the growth potential, etc. So I'm sure that each one of you would have a great career, great satisfaction. And you remember, as I mentioned, this 14 May 2022 as a day which transformed your life, because you may, by this evening, may take one of the probably most impactful decision that you might take, about your life. Just like we say, when you choose your life partner, that's a very important decision, with whom you are getting married. Similarly, the day you decide what profession are you going to embrace, that can change your life for good, for rest of your life. So friends, with these kind of, expectations, hopes, and beliefs, you should come into this profession, which in my opinion is a sunrise profession. As I told you, the scope is humongous. In the meantime, I see that some comments are coming. Soul friend for life and thereafter. Yes, Promila Bharadwaj, very well mentioned. Vrinda is asking, where can one find job positions after completion of the course in banks, MNCs? Vrinda, I have already answered that. You will get, offers from all the big banks like ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, Axis Bank, Kotak Bank, all the big banks, even MNC banks also, they have private banking, division. They call it premium banking, La Premier, Privé, they have different names for the same, for high net worth individuals, and there they prefer certified financial planners, right? So, plus, of course, you'll get in the mutual funds also, companies also. Avinash is asking why to have investment advisory practice in India, one has to get SEBI IRA license, which is difficult to get nowadays. No, it's not difficult to get. If you are a CFP, then it is a cakewalk, because you already have the requirements of becoming a, what is an IRA? IRA is a independent registered advisor, right? So, registered investment registered advisors, it is very easy. CFPs are more than welcome to get that IRA license from SEBI. Okay, right. Ram Kumar is saying you have 5 years of experience as sales professional, but it will depend. Sales professional in a finance company, in a finance industry, or some commodities, right? So it is important that you must have relevant experience in BFSI. For example, if you have worked with some stockbroking company or some mutual fund distributor or some fixed deposit selling company, etc. So that experience will be very, very useful if you have worked in some mutual fund. So Brinda is saying also, I have heard that most of the CFPs end up being on the field as salesmen. No. I don't think you got the right information, Brinda. Certified financial planners have nothing to do with sales. They only have to do planning and advice, and they have to give solutions. So there is a huge difference. There is a huge difference in understanding here, right? So as I've been telling you, project finance will be project finance is not part of CFP. So please remember, CFP is for individuals. Certified financial planners work with individuals and families, okay, business families or couples, families, not with companies, not with corporates. That's different. That's CFA, right? That's different. So project finance is not part of CFP. Is that clear, Mr. Pawan Patidar, sir? So as a certified financial planner, you are going to work with high net worth individuals, right? With medium net worth individuals, with rich people, with prosperous people, with those people who have been successful in their trade and in their profession, right? Yes, Jane Mathi, this question will be answered. Of course, you can enroll for CFP. Simultaneously, you can get a job, in a company like Bajaj Capital. By the time you qualify for your CFP, you will have relevant experience also. So this is how you should go about it. I think this question is by Jane Mathi. Yes. Right. Yes, Pawan sir. Right. So friends, of course, I can go on and on and on talking about, CFP and what role it plays, in society, in BFSI industry. But I would rather, like to go through any question. Also, my time is also coming up because Rajesh told me to speak up to 11:45 and it's 11:44. Ramkumar is asking how much time. Obviously, when it comes to how much time you need for passing your exams, obviously it differs from student to student, person to person. But I would say that at least 15 to 20 hours every week you have to devote. If you are working, still, of course, that would mean about 2 to 3 hours every day. It requires some hard work. It can't be, you can't become a financial doctor without having to, toil for it, without having to spend some time and energy for it. Yes, Rudra Banerjee, 13 years in AMC experience. Of course, 13 years in AMC is huge. Rudra, you are, I think, best fit to become a certified financial planner. Please go for it. And you will remember today, Rudra Banerjee, 13 years is huge as in a mutual fund company. Okay. Can a CFP person enter investment? Yes, 100%, Atharva Kulkarni. Yes, a CFP, they are a very good fit for investment banking also, right? Because they understand the markets, they understand, the functioning of capital market, the functioning of interest rate regime, etc. So yes, they are very, very apt even for investment banking activities also, Atharva Kulkarni. Turjo Dasgupta at age 47, first of all, 47 is nothing. You are very, very, very young, right? You are just 47. 12 years experience as MFD. So again, Mr. Turjo Dasgupta, you are most ideally placed. You are most apt. I wish I was in your place immediately. Today only, I will, sign for CFP, pass the exam, and then my business will grow 3 times, 4 times. Just imagine when you will go back to your client with your card and saying that you are a certified financial planner, how much trust they will have in you, how much references they will give you, right? Your own confidence will go up. Okay, so I would say that Mr. Turjo Dasgupta, yes, you can get a job in AMCs also. There is huge scope after you get the CFP mark. Pawan Patidar, your question will be answered by Rajesh in great detail. At Bajaj Capital, what the job profile offered for CFP? So, and as far as Bajaj Capital is concerned, we have several verticals. Our most popular vertical is, our branches or our units, where we deal with, retail clients and medium net worth individuals and high net worth individuals. And then apart from that, we also have La Premier, where we deal only with the corporates and HNIs. So a CFP can begin as a relationship manager, grow as a senior relationship manager, then grow as wealth manager, and then senior wealth manager. And the package can be starting from 6 lakhs, it can go up to 12 lakhs, 18 lakhs, plus bonus and incentive. So there is endless scope. Shiva Basappa is asking, are there engineers who have done CFP? Answer is yes. I know several engineers, those who make a lateral move and they want to go and try a different field because they have engineering background. So they find it easy to understand these concepts. So yes, there are examples where engineers have become successful CFPs. Can CFP and banking go hand in hand like your CA as well as CFP? Yes, yes, Kushikar. 100% CFP and banking can go hand in hand. Of course, CFP is much more advanced and vast than just banking. Banking is just one field. CFP is the entire, it's ocean. Certified financial planner is, expert of a big ocean, because you are expert of investments, you are experts on insurance, you are expert on tax, you are expert on retirement planning. Just imagine, not only just banking. One last question, is exam quantitative in nature or theoretical? Yes, there is a bit of quantitative, right? So obviously in investment matters, you have to deal with interest rates, you have to deal with growth rates. So a little bit of quantitative is always there, but it's not too much. I would say about 20% is quantitative, 80% is qualitative. At age 52, can get job in other finance. Okay, so Upendra Joshi is asking one question. Let me quickly answer this. This question is asked to me, last 20 years by so many people, that if you do CFP here in India, can you go and practice in US or in Canada? Canada has 17,000 CFPs, right? USA has 1 lakh, 92,000 or close to 1 lakh. Canada is very big, 17,000. Or some people like to, go to other UK, etc. also. So friends, the answer is very simple. Please listen carefully. If you have done CFP from India, obviously you have the basic knowledge, the basic ingredients. Now, supposing you go to Canada, you will have to do little bit of brushing up, on taxation and on the local laws, right? So that will be different. Taxation is different in different countries. Basic fundamentals, investment planning, retirement planning are almost the same, but the solutions and the tax matters and the local compliance and legislation, that is different. So you might have to do 1 or 2 modules there, and then you can start practicing, even in Canada or even in US also. So just you'll have to brush up on that country's local tax laws and some of the other things. But otherwise, you are already, half qualified to go and do anything in Australia or in US or in Canada as a CFP from India. Yes, cross-border exam needs to be done. 1 module. Correct, Rajesh? Yes. Rajesh has given the perfect answer. 1 cross-border exam needs to be passed because you have crossed the border. The rules are different on the other side of the border. You need to be expert on that. How many CFPs employed in Bajaj? So Vrinda, first of all, we are not Bajaj Finance, we are Bajaj Capital. And in Bajaj Capital, we have about 25 CFPs right now. And we are, of course, welcoming more and more, as many as we can. Real estate planning also we learn in CFP. Yes, Himanshu, because Himanshu, I'm sure you know, as a finance professional, that there are only 4 broad investment options in which your clients can invest. When you're doing investment planning for your clients, there are only 4 broad investment options. There is no 5th, and these 4 are debt, equity, gold, and real estate. So real estate is one of them. So as a CFP, you will be expert on real estate, as you will be on debt and on equity and on gold. So these 4 asset classes, debt, equity, gold, and real estate. So real estate, understanding of the market is definitely part of your duties as a certified financial planner. Darshana Doshi is asking, can you please share your mail ID, phone number? Yes, obviously you can take it. Rajesh can provide it later, but it's easily available. Okay, so Rajesh, I think it would be better that if you take it over from here, So so that the time is properly justified.
Thank you so much for this enlightening session, sir. And honestly, uh, hearing one of the finest orators in the industry is always a pleasure. I know your time is pretty precious, sir. Despite that, you came and kind of honored us to be. You came here. That's truly amazing. People who want to connect with Chopra sir, I am putting sir's LinkedIn ID here. You can connect him, follow him on LinkedIn as well. You can stay in touch. He keeps sharing a lot of his investment advice and various other things. And then, as I said, one of the finest orators. So every other day, sir is occupied doing talks at various events. You can join other talks too and can kind of get a lot of learning from him as well. Keep learning. So, gentlemen, as Chopra sir, as I have permission from Chopra sir now. So, sir, if I have permission, I'll move to the second part of the talk now.
Yes, please. Yes, please. I'm sure a lot of questions were oriented towards, what you have to inform to all the, those who are showing interest in this CFP mark. And I would sign off by just requesting, suggesting, recommending, and urging each one of you to give it a serious thought. And mark my word, your life would change rest of your life for better, for good, and you will never forget this date of 14 May 2022 when you decided to embrace this release financial planning. Good luck to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Once again, thanks a lot for your time. Kanhaiya, I am connecting my screen. You will have to confirm me if it is visible.
Not yet, sir. Yes, it's visible.
Visible now?
Perfect.
Perfect. So, gentlemen, first of all, before I begin, let me promise you, friends, that any single question which has not been answered so far, but you have put in the chat, I promise that those questions will be answered. So I can see you asked questions around 10A, 10B, you asked questions around CFA, CFP, you asked questions around CWM, CFP, you asked questions around SEBI RIA. So rest assured, I'm going to talk about all of that and answer all your queries. So with that, let me begin the second part of the talk where I'm going to talk more about CFP as a program, see all the entire framework of CFP. As you would have seen something like this CA, something like this is a trademark or a collective mark that CA community owns, right? On the cars stickers or somewhere others, you would have seen a CA community mark. So similarly, the CFP community mark is this. This is the CFP community mark. Okay, CFP collective mark. CFP, gentlemen, is a designation. So as Chopra sir also mentioned in the beginning, it's not just a certification, it's a designation. More like a doctor puts with his name doctor, a chartered accountant puts with his name chartered accountant, CA. Similarly, if you are a qualified CFP, you put with your name CFP Rajesh Kumar Singh or Rajesh Kumar Singh CFP, right? So that's the format. That's a distinction that comes to your name. So in a way, because it becomes a part of your name, it becomes a stamp of credibility. And this I'm saying you not just for the sake of it. We just heard Chopra sir here live, and I shared an idea as well. If you can go to his LinkedIn profile, you will see Chopra sir is so passionate about, so much in love with these two designations that he holds, CA and CFP, that he uses CA and CFP in his middle name. He writes Anil CA CFP Chopra. That's what the name he writes. And this is the man who brought the education to the country. So you can imagine how he has seen this entire industry. He has stepped up this entire program, right? And that's how he respects this program. He was mentioning he was the first person and how he went into the financial planning standard code Denver office. So this is the regulatory body. This is the certifying body, FPSB, which is based out of USA. So all your certification that you do come straight from FPSB USA. So you are not doing a local examination, a local certification out here in India. Your certifications would be from financial planning Planning Standards Board, USA. Okay, so with that, let's begin. A little bit about us, though we have already mentioned who we are. So we are a part of Bajaj Capital Group. Bajaj Capital doesn't need an introduction. Our parent company, Bajaj Capital, has been in the industry for 59 years now, established in 64. So much older than probably many of us who are present here. So, and we have been rated as, we have been always known as one of the most respected wealth management companies in the country. This program, as I mentioned, CFP was brought to India by us. And since 2002, we have been the number one, the largest, the first and the largest CFP education provider in the country. When it comes to CFP teaching, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, what we do is all the faculties who are going to come and train you, they are not just CFPs. They are people who have tons of experience backing up, and other than CFPs, you will see they are chartered accountants, CFAs, PhDs, IMs. So those kind of faculty members, extremely knowledgeable people who are going to come and teach you during the CFP program. We have been having a very consistent passing rate, much above the industry average, and we have even clocked 100% passing rate in quite a few exams. So that's a bit about us, who we are, and we are based out of Delhi. We have a campus in Mumbai and Mysore as well, but campus is never. We offer education. We offer. We have students across the country. We have students from Middle East. We have students from Australia, Canada, USA, and Singapore for studying for CFP program with us. So what I am going to talk today, I have kind of split the entire thing in a flow chart for you, and I am going to have this entire thing in these 12 parts. So I'll start with what is the program. I'll move to for whom it is. I will move to what are the benefits, and likewise I will move on, talk about all the single pointer things, point by point, that you need to know about the CFP program. Couple of things that Chopra sir mentioned would have changed, because when Chopra sir did, CFP was the initial batch. Now it is 20 years down the line, the curriculum has changed a bit. So I'll also kind of highlight where the changes have come, and I'll go in that way. So starting with what is CFP first. So as I said, it's a designation. It's a designation, right? It's not just a certificate. It's a designation. 7 countries of the world. Instance, Africa, Korea, all of these, and you have it, all these big countries. So when I say international program, yes, it's truly an international program. Even if you do CA from India and you want to go to Canada and work there, you can. As somebody asked the question as well. So all you need to do is, when you go to Canada, you just study the local laws, tax laws and investment laws, and then take one more exam, that's cross-border examination, one exam, and that's all. Your license, your certificate, your degrees, your designation, everything remains valid internationally. So that's one. It's a unique 4-in-1 certification program now. So when I say 4-in-1, the entire program is split into 4 levels. So you go level by level, right? So like CA has CA Foundation, CA Intermediate, CA Final parts, right? Similarly, here the CFP program is split into 4 levels. In each level, you study certain subjects, certain modules, and you take exams level by level. So 4 levels. These 4 levels include 10 modules, so which means 10 subjects, but there will be 4 exams. Okay, so each level has 1 exam. The whole of the curriculum, if you see, is focused on personal finance and wealth. Personal finance and wealth. So when I say personal finance, the larger focus is on individuals' finances. So when I say individuals, I essentially mean my salary, my investments, my earning, my business, my taxation, my investments, my risks, my planning, my insurance, my wealth succession, all of that. Okay, so it has largely covers covered personal finance. You will get quite a bit of brush up of corporate finance, but brush up, not it's not corporate finance rich. Those who were asking the difference between CFP and CFA, so please understand CFA is more of corporate finance rich program. CFP is more of a personal finance rich program. So if you want to be a financial planner, financial advisor, a wealth manager advising an individual, CFP would be much more appropriate. If you want to probably go into fund management, managing the fund of a corporate treasury, likewise, or investment banking, likewise, probably CFP may be more appropriate. That's a different. Okay. It's a short-term program because it takes roughly around 8 to 10 months only, not more than that. And the best part is everything is online, right from your enrollment to study to examination to certification. Everything is online. You won't need to step out of your house to be a CFP. So that's the biggest benefit that you have here. So the question can be, a lot of you were asking, is it right for me? I'm 18-year-old, I am 22-year-old, I am 47-year-old, I am doing this, I am doing that. Is it right for me? So if any one of these personas that I've drawn here, 5 personas, if you fit into any of these personas, this is right for you, right? So students do it because they want to begin a successful career in BFSI. You have a passion for BFSI, you want to begin a career in BFSI. You think, how do I get into it? Right? So there are ways to get into it. Yes, you can be a chartered accountant and can do it, but probably becoming a chartered accountant will end up consuming maybe 6 years, 5 years, 10 years, or will need much more rigor as compared to CFP. So it gives you a quick entry into the BFSI world. That's one. And that one with an international certification, a global certification. It's for the working professionals. If you are a working professional in the BFSI or any other industry and you want to upskill yourself so that you kind of multiply your CV value, yes, it is for you. It's for the finance practitioners, more like MFDs, insurance advisors, all of them who want to kind of get into the personal finance or wealth management business, who want to set up their business or who are into this business. So it's for them too. It's for the retired professionals. So even if you are 60, 65, don't worry at all. Chopra sir just mentioned 87 and a CFP. He just did CFP, right? So retired professionals, we have not many retired professionals coming up post-retirement. Either they want to get into the financial planning as a profession, or they want to probably learn it for their own sake and for their families in betterment. And yes, we have lot many who aspire to get into this because they want to be teachers or faculties or professionals. They think that, okay, I am an engineer right now. So being an engineer allows you to have a technical bent of mind. You are good into analytical things, quantitative things. So that way you think that, okay, what I can do right now, I won't digress. I would study finance and I would probably become a faculty somewhere. I would start teaching online. I would share my knowledge, expertise. Maybe by the time I retire, then I would probably start doing financial planning advisory and all of that. So that may be your career plan. So any of these career plans, so virtually if you see, it's for anybody and everybody. Anyone who has an interest into personal finance, who wants to learn personal finance and wealth management, yes, it is for you. What are the benefits? What does it offer you? So if you do it, what is going to happen? A lot of it, Chopra sir has already mentioned. The first and the biggest thing he mentioned was the mark of credibility, right? So saying that, and he quoted an example as well. So the moment I say I'm a chartered accountant, you feel that, okay, this man has gone with a rigor. He has he has passed certain examinations. He has done certain studies, and that's a mark of the credibility. Similarly, in the personal finance world, in the wealth management space, in the financial planning space, CFP, the moment you say somebody is a CFP, that essentially means this person has studied an international curriculum, international content. He has passed certain examinations. He has certain experience, certain ethics, and that's a mark of the credibility. It gives an international stamp on your CV, on your profile. So when you meet your client next, he knows that you are somebody who has certified, who has a certification from an international board. Okay. The best part is now it offers you 4 certifications. When Chopra sir did CFP, there was 1 certification. So that's why Chopra sir writes CA, CFP, Anil CS CFP Chopra. If you do CFP now, you will have 4 certifications, 4 international certifications, and then you write FPSB USA IPS. IPS is Investment Planning Specialist. FPSB USA RTPS. So FPSB USA, the first is IPS. IPS is Investment Planning Specialist. The second one is RTPS, which is Retirement and Tax Planning Specialist. Third one is REPS, which is Risk and Estate Planning Specialist. And then the fourth one is CFP. So in one single program, you get 4 international certifications to write, to add as a mark of your credibility, as your profile. Of course, you get a lot of industry respect because, as such mentioned, it's a very niche world. There are very few professionals, approximately 8,000 CFP past professionals and approximately 2,300 odd who are carrying the license even now. So very, very small number, and that means you are among the rarest of the professionals, and that means respect. It multiplies your CV value. If you are in the professional world, you understand what is the importance of saying that I am an internationally certified, I am somebody who has a global certification, right? So it multiplies your CV value, opens up a plethora of opportunities in the corporate world. And of course, it brings the specialist knowledge in terms of personal finance, taxation, wealth management, all of that. So yes, I know questions were asked about, am I eligible? Am I eligible? So here I am with the answer. You are eligible if you are 10 plus 2 passed and 18 plus years of age. There is no restriction on stream or percentage. Any stream. So science, arts, commerce, any percentage, 40%, 45%, fair enough, you can join the program. This is about joining the program, right? So you can join. Let me mention, this is about joining the program, not about studying for the program. If you want to study, you can study any day. Even if you are in standard 10th, you can start studying. This is about registering with FPSB, registering with FPSB board. When you want to register, what should be the minimum qualification? So this is about registering with FPSB. This is the minimum qualification for that. Then by the time you pass all your CFP exam and you want your CFP license, your CFP certificate, your charter, then the minimum qualification is you need to be a graduate, a minimum graduate, any stream, any percentage. There is no restriction on that. Okay, any stream, any percentage, and minimum 3 years of BFSI experience. Now the question is, somebody asked also, what if I do not have an experience? Then the substitute, as I mentioned in the chat also, is you get to do 1 year of supervised articleship. Supervised articleship. It's more like a CA articleship, right? The way we do CA articleship, similarly here also you are mapped to a practicing CFP. Now you will ask me, who are these practicing CFPs, right? So the faculty come and teach you. Many of them are practicing CFPs. So what we do is, for your internship, we map you to them, and then you do your practical internship with them. You complete your CFP internship and you qualify for your certification. Okay, so I hope I'm very clear. The first one, the criteria is to join the program, registering at FPSB, not to study. You can study at any point of time. Even if you are 10th passed, you can study, right? But to register at FPSB, this is the minimum criteria. To pass, when you pass the whole program, you want your certificate. This is the bare minimum criteria. The being a graduate and experience, or you have to do an article set. Coming to study. So if you join the program, what exactly you study? I mentioned there are 4 levels. I also mentioned there are 10 modules. So now let's look at what are these 4 levels and 4 modules. So this is level 1. This is level 1. Level 1 has got how many modules? If you see here, 3 modules. Right? The first module is personal financial management, where you study more about the personal financial concepts, and it begins with very basics, teaching you assets, liabilities, net worth, cash flow, the financial markets in India, financial products in India, the time value of money, basic financial formulae, concept, formulae in Excel, all of that, the basic things we start from. And then the next is investment planning and asset management, where you study all about investment products. Somebody asked, do I study about real estate? You also study about REITs in CFP curriculum. Only one product that you do not study, investment product that you do not study in CFP curriculum is crypto. Other than that, all other investment products are duly covered, duly taught to you. And then the third module is in regulatory environment and legal compliances, which in a layman's term, if I have to explain you, is nothing but investment law. A lot of you would have been here from commerce background, you would have done BCom or something. So if you recall, in BCom, you have studied business law and company law. Now you are an investment expert. Is it not that you are supposed to be knowing or specializing in the investment laws? So yes, here the CFP curriculum teaches you investment laws, all of SEBI Act, the Anti-Money Laundering Act, the PMLA, and then the IRDA, mutual funds, all those rules, regulations, laws, acts, everything is taught to you here. And so that's about level 1. You complete level 1, you move to level 2. Level 2, as I mentioned, is retirement and tax. There are 2 modules to study only here. These are the 2 modules, retirement planning and tax planning. The retirement planning is where you primarily study about the larger goal of financial planning. What is the single largest and unique and the most common goal that we all have in our personal life? Retirement. The biggest financial planning, right? So you study more about how to plan for retirement, the retirement products which are there, how do you make all the calculations, how do you arrive at the retirement needs, all of that, okay? And then similarly, you study about tax planning. Tax planning here, you study not only India, but you study international as well, because we understand that as financial advisors or as finance professionals or as bankers or as advisors, you have clients who go international. So tomorrow you have a client who is, let's say, going to USA, and 3 years he lives in USA, he comes back. How is his earning, his taxation going to be worked out? How are his investments going to be taxed, right? If you do not know this, you will be forced to digress them to or send them to a chartered accountant for an advice. But whereas if you are a CFP, you know what the advice is, and then you are able to manage and explain how to do it. Right, so that's the end of CFP level 2. Then you move to CFP level 3. Level 3 is, as I mentioned, risk and estate, which means risk. When I say risk, it's not just insurance. It's about managing risk, understanding risk, managing risk, mitigating risk, quantifying risk, how to arrive at the insurance needs of a person. So typically, a lot of you may be insurance advisors. Typically, how you go is you try to judge what is the premium paying capacity of the person. Not the other way around, not scientifically arriving at his life value, not scientifically arriving at what is his insurance need. So you understand, you learn all the theories, all the computations, all the formulae, all the concepts here, how to implement that. That's what risk management and insurance, the first module is. The second module is estate planning, which means you have created wealth, you have invested wealth. Now it's time to pass on the wealth to the next generation. How do you pass on your wealth? Right? So there are rules, laws, regulations around that. So that's about succession planning, which is studied in estate planning. So again, here, 2 modules in level 3. And then comes the final CFP level, which is level 4. Level 4, if you see, is Certified Financial Planner. Here you have 3 modules. But I won't put much of the focus on modules here, because modules here are more of theoretical in nature. They teach you how to make financial plan. They tell you the guidance, the formats, the templates that you need to follow, etc., and certain behavioral things that you need to keep in mind. So like if you see, the first module is financial planning process, principles and skills, where you learn what are the principles to follow, how to do this, how do you interview a client, all those basic things you study. Second is engaging clients. How do you engage clients in the financial planning process? And the third is developing financial plans, designing financial plan for a person. What are the concepts to follow? What is the format? How to prepare charts, how to prepare reports, etc., etc. So this is how to that you study. But why the CFP level 4 is more interesting is all these how-tos that you study here, plus this level 1, level 2, level 3, what you studied there, all of these gets amalgamated at one place, right? all of this gets amalgamated at one place, and then you do a capstone project. If you can read this line, you get to do a project here. And the project here is not a typical MBA copy paste project. It is a very interesting live project. So for example, you will be given a project for, let's say, Rajesh's life. So it will say that Rajesh Kumar Singh is a 42-year-old professional. His qualification is this, that, whatever. His life is this. He lives in Delhi. He has his house. He has um, these many investments. He has these many liabilities. He has a daughter. In my entire life history will be written. And then it will quote 10 of the financial goals that I have in my life. And then it will ask you to prepare a plan for me. Now the plan will be so holistic, it will go to 60, 70 pages. And you will have to prepare that project, submit to the board, and only when the board approves it, you are allowed to sit in the exam. So which means whatever you have learned earlier in level 1, 2, and 3, and then finally the templates, the formats that you study, put all of that together to practical use. So CFP is a practical learning, friends. Please keep in mind, CFP is a practical learning. If you come here thinking that I will study, pass exam, and okay, I'll add a I'll add a designation, please do not do that. It's a very practical learning program. You will get a lot of practical exposure, get to learn and implement that during the program. Forget about implementing after passing out, implementing for your client. Before that, you are asked to prove it that you are able to implement. Okay, so that's about the study that you do here. Your question can be, so what are the modes? Will I get some classes? How do I do the class, do the learning? How do I get the books, etc.? So there are two ways that you study. The first is either or these two, not both. So either of these two that you need to follow. The first is a virtual live class. This is an instructor-led class. Okay, so when I say instructor, it is a live class, meaning to say more like this. It is just that because we are in a webinar, so all of you are on mute, but otherwise in an instructor live class, your instructor, your faculty will be teaching you live the way I am teaching you, doing all the computations before you, using whiteboards, teaching you live, talking to you. You are talking to the faculty, asking questions. So that's virtual live class. Here again, you have two options. You can join for weekdays, which is Monday to Friday, or weekends, which is only Saturday, Sunday, depending upon how much time you can take out. Okay, if you join for weekday, then it, as I mentioned, it's Monday to Friday. So Monday to Friday, it's 7 to 9 or 7:30 to 9, either of these two hour slot. Okay, so that's for the virtual live class. Please keep in mind, every single class that we do, classes are recorded and the recordings are shared with you for revision purposes. The idea is for revision purposes, but honestly, yes, even if you miss certain classes because of your other occupancies or not doing well or traveling, etc., we understand you are professional, so it can happen. You can miss a couple of classes. So then you can go back and review the classes, come back to the class, talk to the faculty, clear your doubts and move on. The second, an e-learning session, which is more of a Netflix. So it's a pre-recorded class. The same faculties who are going to teach you in the virtual class, the same faculties have pre-recorded the sessions, same faculties, content, same notes, same books, same PPTs, but pre-recorded in a studio environment like this without any audience. Okay, so pre-recorded, you cannot interact. It's not interactive. You can just hear it. Pre-recorded, it's more of a DIY kind of a model, do it yourself. It is ideal for people who come from a relevant background. So somebody is a chartered accountant, understands a lot, and he knows what rigor is. So probably for him, doing the e-learning would be an ideal one, and we would advise to go for e-learning. But all of the cases, I would say virtual is a better one. You can choose whatever format suits you, weekdays or weekends. E-learning is for people who have a relevant background. Okay. So as I mentioned, it's a pre-recorded thing. We give you on a portal. You go and do it at your own speed, at the way you want. So that's about the study modes that you have. And yes, of course, ICOFP, International College of Financial Planning, we're going to teach you. Our faculties, as I mentioned, they're going to teach you. Okay. So the same thing repeated here. So you have a virtual class. Virtual class is either weekend or weekdays, your choice. You can pick either of these two, or e-learning if you cannot join a class. Okay, so if you join the program, what all do you get to study? What all study materials do you get as a privileged student of ICOFP? So you get concept books, all these 10 modules that I mentioned. You remember 10 modules, 10 subjects that I mentioned? All these 10 modules, books would be printed books. Why I'm emphasizing on printed is some skill which is given to you by FPSB, Financial Planning Standards USA board also to you. But that is all online. You cannot save it, you cannot print it, you cannot download it, you cannot bookmark it. Okay. So that's given to you by FPSB, but that's again only online ebooks, no printing, no saving, no downloading, no bookmark. Whereas the books that we give you is all printed hard copy books. Okay, that's one. Second, we will give you workbooks to practice. It's not just about reading from the books, it's about reading, learning, attending the classes, and then after the end of all of this, going and practicing, testing how much have you learned. If you can't do a question, you can go back to the class and ask the faculty, right? So all the workbooks, it will again have workbooks. So 10 modules books, then you have workbooks, then you have group projects, right? The faculty will assign you a lot of projects to do. It's not just single project which comes in the end, a lot of small mini projects during the course, during the workshop. As I mentioned, all the videos are recorded. You can view it before the class, you can view it after the class, keep revising so that you learn better. Even before you go and take the FPSB exam, there is an online mock test, a practice test, similar environment, similar pattern made on ICOFP portal, so that you kind of test yourself before you actually go, and it's a net practice that we allow you to do before you actually go and play the final 2020. And then the assignments during the classes, the faculties would keep giving you a lot of assignments to do, so that every single chapter they teach you, keep rushing every day. Exams happen every month, gentlemen. Every month there is an exam calendar. It's on you when you want to take your exam, but there is a default calendar. The exams keep happening. If you want, you can book. If you don't want, you can skip. So every month before the exam date, we have exclusive doubt clearing sessions, right? So even before you are thoroughly prepared, you have done everything, you have taken mock test, you have done all of that. But before you take the exam, we call you for an exclusive live doubt clearing session with the faculty. Final last minute brush up, okay, to make you better prepared for the exam. Then there are case study exam. Level 4 has got case studies, make you practice enough number of case studies in the exam, and there is a specific book that is given to you for case studies as well. Okay, because we realize that case study is pretty important, so we have a separate book, separate sessions on case studies for you. And then yes, of course, there are guest lectures by experts, by industry experts, like Chopra sir was there today. So we have guest lectures. And today, if you see, I am privileged to say that probably the best known financial planners, the best known wealth managers in the country happen to be our alumni. And I'm extremely privileged, happy that they keep coming to our college, they keep sharing their ideas, thoughts, they keep sharing their learnings with all our students. So whether it is Gaurav Mashruwala, Luwai Navlakhi, Suresh Sadagopan, Dilchad Bilimoria, Shilpi Jori, all of them have been our alumni. Yogin Sabnis, the last week, Yogin Sabnis was here, and how he mentioned that he is, and he mentioned it live before the audience. That's there on YouTube as well. You can go and see. He mentioned that he has been ICFP student, and rather he also mentioned that there was nobody else that when ICFP was teaching us, right? So that's the privilege that we have, gentlemen. So all of these 10 study materials that you see here is coupled with a live class if you are joining for virtual. Live classes, weekend or weekday, that's your choice, but a live class. So your question can be, so who are the faculties who are going to teach me? I don't know if your screen reads properly, because this is looking a little hazy in terms of image, but I will explain you so that you kind of understand the faculty's background. So some of the faculties, I have not consumed more of a space. So some of the faculties who want to come and teach you during your classes are these. Madhusina is a CFP, a CWM, and C is an MBA as well, and she is Amphi IRDA certified too. She's a practicing financial planner. Madhu Sinha, and she is an author as well. She has written 2 books too in personal finance. And one thing for which Madhu is best known is she is the former director of FPSB India Board. Now imagine former director of FPSB, your certifying authority, certifying body, the former director of that certifying body coming and teaching you live in the class. And she is the one who heads the academic delivery here. So Madhu heads the academic delivery for CFP. Okay, so that's the profile. That's a brief about Miss Madhu Sinha. Then you have Pankaj Goyal. Pankaj is a CFA and a CFP, and more than 15 years of teaching experience. Right. Ajay Malhotra. Ajay Malhotra is a practicing lawyer and a CFP and an Amphi IRDA qualified as well. Now, imagine Ajay Malhotra is a practicing lawyer. Now, if he teaches you a subject like investment law, and a lawyer not with a kind of a district court, he's a lawyer with Delhi High Court and Supreme Court, right? So people of that stature coming and teaching you. Hitesh is a chartered accountant and a CFP, an ex-Goldman Sachs, ex-KPMG. He teaches you tax here, right? Imagine, and it is the taxation expert. So that kind of faculties come and teach you. Kamal Kothari, the space is less to write his degrees. I mean, lot many other than CFPs, right? So extremely qualified gentlemen, more than 20 years of teaching experience. Malik Pomaria, IIM and CFP, right? These days he's based out of Canada, by the way. So Milind has been teaching with us. Dr. Ruchi Arora, a PhD, a full-time faculty for a lot of MBA programs and a CFP as well. One thing that you will find common is none of these faculties are there who do not hold a CFP. So one thing is essential, they have to be a CFP. Besides CFP, they may be chartered accountant, CFA, PhDs, IM alumni, all of that. Avdesh again is a CFP, Avdesh Singh. Dinesh Gupta, CFP, Amphi, IRDA qualified. Rishi Mehra, extremely qualified man, CFA, CFP, right? Rishi Taparia, PhD. Kusal Vateja, CFP, CFA, FRM. All of these guys extremely qualified with at least 15-20 years of teaching experience, and themselves being CFP bring the right knowledge on the platter for you. So that's about faculties. Now moving to exams. Your query would be that study samajh liya, mode samajh liya, material samajh liya, faculty bhi samajh liya. Now what are the exams going to be? How am I going to be tested? So let's look at here first the examination model. So I mentioned it's a 4-in-1 program. So one single program, 4 certifications. There will be 4 exams as well. Only 4 exams. I also mentioned there will be 10 modules, right? But you do not worry about 10 modules. I mentioned that the first level has got 3 modules. Second level has got 2 modules. Third level has got 2 modules, and 4th level has got 3 modules again. So first level exam will cover all these 3 modules. Second level exam will cover all these 2 modules. Third level will cover 2 modules, and 4th level will cover 3 modules plus case study. Okay. So there is an exam at each level. The exams are online proctored exams. When I say online proctored, exams are like this with somebody else watching you across the screen. This is done on an examination software examination platform that FPSB board gives you. On that, you have to log in at the given time. And examination is done like this. Somebody is watching you. And mind you, even your eyeball movements are being captured. So you have to be very attentive, very focused. Of course, very recently from this exam, they have just also declared that they have added the offline NSE center based examination as well. But till that gets finalized, I mean, this is something online that it is being done for last 2 years. And this is the best examination model that you can think of. Exams happen once every month. So there is a pre-fixed examination calendar which is shared with you, that exams are going to happen. Generally, they happen in the the third or the fourth week, 23rd, 24th, 25th. So after 20th of the month. And you will have one subject one day. So for example, level 1 exam is going to happen on 22nd. Level 3 is going to happen on 25th. Level 3 is going to happen on 22nd. Likewise, a date will be given to you. Whichever level you are in, you pick that, you go and book your exam online. That's your choice when you want to take the exam. The board doesn't force you for taking any exam. All are MCQ questions, all objective questions, choice based, no negative marking. So in any case, if for 2, 3, 4 questions, if you do not know the knowledge, you can always try, do not know the answer, you always can try your luck that for those 3, 4 questions in the exam. So that's on a lighter note, gentlemen. Okay, moving to level 1, 2, 3, how the questions are framed. So these questions are the exams are 75 questions, 75 marks, meaning to say every question will have 1 mark, all MCQs. Passing mark is approximately 55%, but I normally say you should aim for 60%. 60% of 75 is what? 45. So meaning to say if you mark 45 questions right, you are through with the exam for level 1, 2, 3. Okay. So that's about level 1, 2, 3. Moving to level 4. Level 4 has a slightly different examination format. So that's why I mentioned it separately. It has 2 parts here. Level 4 has got 2 parts in the exam. The first part is 25 questions of 1 mark each. These are all questions from the 3 books that you study. 25 questions for 1 mark each. Theoretical questions from the book that you study, the 3 modules that you study here. Okay. Then 25 questions of 3 marks each. These are questions based on a case study that you get in the exam, another case study. So you got a case study to do during your project. After that, another case study will come live in the exam. On that case study, based on that case study, there would be 25 questions, all MCQs. Even if there are numericals, there will be MCQs, but you will have to solve those numericals and then answer. Okay. So exams here are not every month, they are alternate months. So if exam happened in April, now it will not happen in May, it will happen in June for level 4. So level 4 exams are alternate. Level 1 to 3 are every month. There is a project prior to the exam that you have to complete and pass. So that's the model for level 4. I hope the exam part is pretty clear now. Let's move to the next. So next you have fees. So what is the fee that you have to pay? So the fees are broadly classified broken into 2 parts. One is the FPSB board fee, certain amount of fee which you pay to FPSB board. These are paid in dollars, USD, because they are international fees, program fee that you pay to FPSB USA board. Okay, what are these fees? But before I write down the fees, please let me repeat, and you also kind of categorically take note of it, that these fees are not payable in one go. They are supposed to be paid as you move along the program. Okay, so level 1 fee, you pay only level 1. When you move to level 2, only then you paid for level 2. So they are paid in that way, not in one go. Okay, so moving ahead. So first is registration fee. Registration is $165. Okay, $165. This is one time, not for each level. One time valid for all 4 levels, valid for 1 full year. Then I mentioned that FPSB gives you content. FPSB gives you some online content, ebooks to study. Now that's mandatory. Even if you are coming to study with me, that's mandatory. You have to take their content. Okay, although honestly you would not even need to look at that content, but that's mandatory as a part of the FPSB's standard policy. So you have to take that. Now for this you have to pay $60 per level. $60 per level. So when you are buying only for level 1, you will pay only 60. When you move to level 2, you will pay another 60, not one go, as you move along. Okay, so $60 per level for level 1, 2, and 3, and then $120 for the level 4. Level 4 fee is different. So this is only for level 4. 1, 2, 3 is $60 each. Then there is exam fee. Level wise, each level you move, you have to pay exam fee. Again, level wise. Similarly, $61 is the exam fee for level 1 to 3, plus $121 for level 4. Okay. Once you complete your level 1, 2, and 3, or even if you complete level 1, you get a specialist certification. You remember I mentioned that this is a 4-in-1 program. And I also mentioned that you get 4 global certifications, 4 specialist certifications. So the last one is CFP. But as you do level 1, level 2, and level 3, you get specialist certification from FPSB USA. Now, to get those specialist certification, there is a specialist certification fee that you have to pay. That is $100. And this $100 is combined for 1, 2, and 3. This is 1 plus 2 plus 3. This is not 100 for each. So meaning to say, if you do level 1 today and you say I need my level 1 specialist certificate, you have to pay $100, you get your level 1. 2 months down the line, you complete your level 2. Now you don't need to pay again because you have already paid $100. You will automatically get your level 2 specialist certificate. You complete level 3, you get your level 3 specialist certificate. Okay, so that is specialist certification fee. And then there is a project. I mentioned that when you move to level 4, you have to do a project. This is at the time of level 4. For project, you have to give a project assessment fee, which is $55. That's at level 4. Before level 4, you have to give it. And finally, when you pass all level exam, your certification, you are complete with the full process, you get your CFP license, your CFP charter. There you have to pay a final CFP license fee of $120. Okay, so that's the fee that you pay to FPSB board in your whole of CFP study journey. But let me again tell you, you pay as you move along, not all the fee in one go. Not all the fee today as well. You will be paying the FPSB fee. You will be registering with FPSB after 2.5 months. If you're studying today, we will study with the board after 2.5 months, not today, right? So even this registration fee needs to be paid after 2 months. Even the level 1 content fee would need to be paid after 2 months. Level 1 examination fee would need to be paid after 3.5 months, only when you go to take the exam. Okay. So that's about the FPSB fees. Now coming to the study fee that you pay. So for study, you pay certain fees to ICOFP, to us, and all our fees, unlike the board fees which were paid in USD, our fees are paid in rupees, INR. So all the fees that you pay to us for your books, for your classes, for your notes, for your videos, for your online mock, for your guest lectures, for your workbooks, for practice sessions, for doubt clearing sessions, all of that is paid to us. How much do you pay? Depends on whether you opt for virtual or you opt for pre-recorded. Okay, if you opt for virtual, it's different. If you opt for the pre-recorded one, the fee is different. If you opt for virtual, so if you opt for virtual, the fee is 39,900 if you pay in one go, which is full down payment. Okay, if you can't pay in full down payment, we have easy student loan options. We have tied up with NBFCs where you get easy student loan options. You can pay in 6 EMIs as well. So then it works out to be, you pay 10% as a down payment, balance in 6 easy EMIs. Okay, so 10% is the down payment, balance in 6 easy EMIs. That's the other thing. Or if you don't want to go for the full payment option, you can go for part payment option, but then there the fee is slightly higher. It's 42,500, and you can pay it in breakup like this. So that's the fee for the virtual one. Similarly, for pre-recorded classes for e-learning, we call it e-learning. This is called virtual. So for e-learning, the fee is 29,900 if you pay in full. That is the full fee in one go. Here again, you have the EMI option. Pay 10% as a down payment, balance in 6 easy EMIs through a student loan. Or you say, no, I will pay it on my own, but in parts, then the part payment fee is 32,500, slightly higher. All of you are finance professionals or aspiring finance professionals, so you understand that down payment vis-a-vis the part payment is always a difference. So that's the difference. So you can opt for whatever suits you, the virtual or e-learning, and the payment plan that whatever suits you. So that's the fee for studying. So if you join the program today, what you pay is this, the study fee, not this. This you don't pay today. This you pay after 2.5 months, the registration fee, then the content fee, and then the examination fee after 3 months. And then when you move to level 4 after 5 months, then you level 2 after 5 months, then you pay the level 2 another $60 likewise. So finally, when you complete the program, what is the reward? We have been talking about international certifications, stamp of credibility, the multiplying your CV value, 4 global certifications. So these are the certifications that you get. This is level 1, saying investment planning specialist, directly from FPSB USA, signed by FPSB USA CEO. Okay. This is level 2. This is level 3. This is level 4, the final one, CFP. Okay. So this is the reward that you get. Within flat 8 to 10 months, your CV gets added, gets kind of augmented with 4 international certifications, 4 global certifications from FPSB USA, with this knowledge, with this background. So that's the reward, ultimate reward that comes to you. Your question can be, why now? Chopra sir already mentioned, you will remember this date today, gentlemen. This date can change your life if you are committed to building a career in personal finance, wealth management space. So we want you to act today. We want you to take a decision. Don't keep procrastinating. You can always keep thinking, I'll do it later, I'll do it later. But trust me, that later will never happen. So if you want to do it today, we are there to help you. And I truly appreciate you joined us this morning. You spent almost an hour or more than an hour, rather 1.5 hours with us today. So here is a very special offer for you. If you join the program today, remember, if you join the program today, its offer is valid for today. So the first is you get 5,000 rupees off on the course fee, on the study fee, on our fees. What was my fee? 39,900. So approximately 5,000, more than 5,000 rather, off on down payment plan, right? So you get it for 34,500 if you join the program today. E-learning was 29,900. You get it for 24,500. So more than 5,000 off if you join the program today. Okay. If you are going for part payment, again, it was 42,500, which is reduced to 37,500 today. It was 32,500, which is reduced to 27,500 today. So you are saving 5,000 rupees straight away on your learning fee if you are joining the program today. That's not all, gentlemen. The second is you save $150. $150 today would be around 13,000 rupees, right? Approximately 13,000 rupees if you join the program today. How do you save it? You remember I was saying at each of this level, FPSB